Okay, Manny. Who are we probing today? Oh, come on, Manny. You said I could probe somebody.
Hey, this is UFO report number 66. This is Manny Moonraker, your hostess with the mostest, and welcome to this UFO report. So we have two things to talk about, and we're also going to do a quick recap of the old rubber dickies. Some of you have been in there to vote, but it looks like many of you have not. And I want to say that the top three have changed again. But let's get to our first news article because that's what we hear about today. We're here to talk about the UFO news that's going on right here, right now. Wherever you're at, wherever I'm at, the stuff just happens and we're here to talk about it. The first story is actually titled, Shocking UFO Sighting Above U.S. Navy Base in California Desert Raises the Possibility of Alien Visitors. This was reported by the Mirror.uk, and it says the pictures appear to show an alien spacecraft hovering in the air over the desert. It's driving people in the UFO community batshit crazy. The part that kills me is this. The picture was taken back in 2007. It's 2017, people. It's a little too late for this nonsense. According to this, the individual did not use their real name. They used the name Keith Bradshaw in order to publish these pictures. The pictures were taken near a Naval Air Weapons Station near China Lake in California. And apparently a friend had told him about this craft and he decided to go take some pics for himself, take a look at what was going on. Now here's the thing. You've got this thing. If you look at the pictures, I got the link to the article here, and you might have been one of those people that likes looking at Security Team 10, and I think they have a video on it. But if you look at the pictures, it looked like somebody took a brand new shiny stainless steel wok, got two of them, and stuck them to each other. And it looks like a flying wok just hanging out there by this base. They quoted Keith Bradshaw, the not so real name, that this thing would wobble along close to the ground and it looked very unstable, kind of like a spinning top, I would imagine, Keith. He says then it would freeze in position and go up to a certain height and sit there for a few minutes perfectly still with no noise at all. He said he watched it for about 10 minutes. He also claimed that the silver UFO was actually surrounded by a few military vehicles that were parked around it. He says he doesn't believe that anyone was inside the vehicle and possibly it was being controlled remotely and maybe from a helicopter that he took a picture of leaving the vicinity of where this thing was. He says he published the pictures because he's trying to open up the conversation to see if anybody can identify what this thing was about. What is it really? Is it some kind of UFO, extraterrestrial? Is it a military hardware that he witnessed? Well, if it was military, no one's really going to tell you anyway, so you're shit out of luck there. But the thing is, it doesn't look like a UFO. According to the article, he actually provided the pictures to Philip Mantle, which incidentally, we did interview Philip Mantle not too long ago on this podcast. Great interview, great guy. According to this article, Philip Mantle said that the most controversial UFO photos on record. You guys got to make your own decision on this. I say it's 4.2 far. It's not a UFO from somewhere else. If it is a UFO, yeah, granted, nothing looks like a flying walk anywhere from the aircrafts that we've seen. So I think this is not necessarily 4.2 far. I think the military was jacking around with something, because the truth is that helicopter in the picture was flying away. I would think that if this was unidentified, truly unidentified, that helicopter would not be flying away from the object. It would be flying to it. And you wouldn't have a bunch of military vehicles just sitting around it like they're out on a picnic. So, this is a 4.2 far rubber dicking. The fact that he put this out there makes no sense to me, because honestly, just the way he describes it, he should know it's not from 4.2 far. It's probably some kind of military thing. Honestly, a flying walk really doesn't interest me. It probably doesn't interest you guys either. But I brought it anyway because that's in the news.
You're listening to UFO Buster Radio, and I have a question for you. Do you like to go fishing, or do you want to learn how to fish? Well, I have the answer for you. Whether you're an avid angler or just starting out, Angling Waters Outdoors is the place to learn and advance your fishing skills. I'll be your guide, Marty Angler. And I'm not just a bass fishing tournament angler, but I also like to fish for other species as well. I'll help guide you through the different methods and baits to help you catch more fish all year long. So catch me at Angling Waters Outdoors here on Spreaker. Now back to UFO Buster Radio and my friend Manny Moonraker.
Alright, so before we jump into the next article, I have the current standings of the 2017 Rubber Dickies. And if you haven't voted, go to ufobusterradio.com. You can go on your cell phone, on your tablet, on your computer, look for the survey and vote. As soon as you vote, it'll show you what the current standings are, including your vote, for the 2017 Rubber Dickies. And if you are not aware, the winner will receive an award. I've already picked one out. It's been ordered. We'll show pictures of it right before we announce the winner of the Rubber Dickies. But right now, Tom DeLonge has taken the first spot away from Stan Romanek as the potential winner of the 2017 Rubber Dickies. In second place, we have Jaime Maussan tied with Stan Romanek. Both really credible and substantial rubber dickers in their own right. So they're both fantastic candidates for Rubber Dicker of the Year. And really, Jaime Maussan should probably get some kind of a Lifetime Achievement Award for rubber dicking. He deserves that. In third place, we have MUFON. Apparently MUFON, thanks to their little space program nonsense in their last symposium, has garnered some love from you guys. So, crazy ass MUFON, you're in number 3. So those are the standings right now. December 15th, we will announce the winner of the 2017 Rubber Dickies, and that rubber dicker is going to get that award delivered to them, along with a little note from us to them, letting them know how much we enjoy their rubber dicking and how much it really means to us. But anyway, here's a good segue into the rest of the rubber dickers, because the next article kind of talks about them, and this is something new. I've never seen an article regarding UFOs being presented by Newsweek.com. The title for this is UFO in NASA Moon Image? ? Here are the most ridiculous sightings of the last month. You know what, Newsweek? We're there with you. The first sighting that they're reporting in this particular article is apparently there was a giant glowing ball of light near the Arctic in Siberia, which was believed to be a UFO, and apparently it drove people also completely bananas. After much debate and research, it turns out that what they saw was an ICBM test. The Siberian Times at the time was concerned about what was happening and decided to interview some people. And some of those people in Siberia decided this looks more like a gap in the space-time continuum rather than a military exercise. So the thing is, people are going to believe what they want to believe. So, it was Q from Star Trek came in, toured the space-time continuum, and the Enterprise came through, gave him a light show. The second one turned out to be from a UK-based site that reported on a YouTube channel that there was a perfectly triangular dent found in the surface of the moon. And of course, when you say things like that, the first thing people are going to say, it's a base. There's a military base on the moon. That's why we don't go back to the moon, because we're already established and yada yada yada, 4.2 far. But the person that reported this so-called shape on the moon didn't say that it was, the Americans and the Russians together holding hands, putting together a base on the moon. They said it was basically bases that are being controlled by ETs. It's hard to believe that sometimes you could take the shape of something and just automatically assume that it is extraterrestrial. But thanks to Newsweek, we now know that that was one of the most ridiculous claims in the last month. The last one that they mentioned here, and they didn't mention the person by name, but we know him as Street Crap 1, who is an associate of Tyler Lochner and Security Team 10. Street Crap apparently was going through all of the old pictures from the Apollo missions, particularly Apollo 16. And according to him, he found evidence that the Black Knight satellite, the satellite that's rumored to have been in orbit around the planet for thousands of years, that apparently the Black Knight satellite was in the Apollo 16 pictures. I've got a link to this particular article. You can read that, but go out there and look for the stuff that Street Crap put out there. Because the truth is, if you look at these pictures that he's claiming was that Black Knight satellite, forget about it. You cannot see a damn thing in those pictures. There is nothing in what he's presenting that looks like that Black Knight satellite. I don't know what the hell he's on. Does he live in California? So the article goes on to talk about the alleged rumors and things like that apparently Nikola Tesla, in early experiments back in 1899, connected with this Black Knight satellite, but people wouldn't believe him, and the government didn't want to acknowledge this. But then there's also the situation that people think that this was actually a thermal blanket that was dropped from the space shuttle on a mission, and those pictures make it look like it's some kind of an alien ship or a satellite that just hangs out watching every move we make. So check out the link, it's in the description. Newsweek, thanks a lot. Those are pretty ridiculous, and hey, what can you do? It's exciting stuff to read. Makes you have a little giggle here and there, and you never know, maybe Tyler and Street Crap will be on next year's Rubber Dickies, ready to win that coveted award. Don't forget to follow, share, like, tell a friend, tell your mama, tell your dog, tell your cat. UFO Buster Radio is here to talk about the nonsense, and we'd like to do it with you. So follow us on social media, on Facebook. The pages are Manny Moonraker and UFO Buster Radio. On Instagram at Manny Moonraker, and on Twitter at UFO Buster Radio. I thank you for listening to my madness today, and don't forget to check out Angling Waters, especially if you're the type that likes to sit in a boat for hours at a time, looking for that perfect fish story. Catch you in 2 days. Adios.